Earlier today, I posted a poll in my YouTube community tab, and I asked what your favorite POI was. The options were Tilted Towers, Salty Springs, Greasy Grove, or other. Not surprising at all, in my opinion, to see Tilted Towers at a whopping 45%. What would your vote be? Be sure to let me know in the comments section down below. So let's go ahead and just get straight into it. Our first comment comes from Brink, who says, so I've been hearing a lot about the possibility of the event being related to a nuke, and I think that combined with the possibility of Indiana Jones coming, everything kind of sets up for that, being how he gets introduced into the game. This is because a very iconic scene from Indiana Jones is him escaping death by a nuke by being in a refrigerator. And a lone refrigerator is actually sitting in the desert area of the map right now, just how it is in the movie. Somehow I didn't know about any of this. I haven't even watched any Indiana Jones movies. You can crucify me, that's fine. But yes, there is a refrigerator out in the middle of the desert, and it is pretty much confirmed through what I've seen to be a reference to Indiana Jones. And of course, this whole story of him escaping a nuke from being in a refrigerator. You know, it is a compelling theory. We do know that Indiana Jones is very adventurous. And we know for sure there is a Doomsday device being constructed by the IO. Now, exactly what that device is going to be, we've talked about that and tried to go over it. Is it going to be exactly like Midas's device, considering both these devices are being called Doomsday devices? One thing that I thought about when trying to discover what exactly was on Sloane's device right here, you know, we've talked about it in the last couple of videos, but for some reason, something in my brain clicked, and I thought about the OG device event, right? I would figure the original Doomsday event would be pretty important in trying to figure out what's going to happen in the next Doomsday event, and studying that event might help us uncover some of the truth. What if this hologram on Sloane's device in the stealthy surveillance loading screen is actually this? This is one of the towers from the device event. Now, is it exactly the same? No, it's not exactly the same, but it's pretty similar in design and even looks a lot like the middle tower that was holding the 0 point, the actual device itself. I got to thinking about this because in my last few videos, a lot of people were using the word tower specifically to describe what they were seeing on the device from Sloane, and it got me thinking about the towers that were surrounding the agency during the event, the original Doomsday event. So, is this actually what this is referencing? We know that the last Doomsday device had stuff that looked similar. Midas's original device was obviously planned with a different idea and goal in mind, but if for some reason this new Doomsday device turns out to be similar to the old one, I would not be too surprised. Hey, I'm calling it now. Before this event gets started, we're gonna have several of these different pillars come up out of the middle of Loot Lake, and then from there, I guess we just have to wait and find out what the intents of this device actually are, you know, because the last Doomsday device was called Doomsday from an IO perspective, trying to break the loop and stop the storm, but a Doomsday device from the IO's perspective is likely to look a lot different. So that's important to consider. Again, I know it's not exactly the same, but I do think it's pretty important considering we're not talking about some random comparison. We're literally trying to compare one Doomsday device to the other. I think that's fair. DYT Vlog says, I think I have a theory that could be a possibility. I had to do some research, but I think that maybe the Paradigm left to join the Fox clan. In the skin Catalyst, her description is alter the Paradigm. Maybe the Fox clan brainwashed the Paradigm to turn her into Singularity so she could protect the 0 point. Maybe the Fox clan has more to them than we thought. Whoa, digging way back into the archives for this one. As you can see, the description of this skin definitely is indeed alter the Paradigm, but I do not think this is Paradigm. If you take a look at the face of Singularity, who is basically confirmed to be Paradigm, it's a similar shape and whatnot, but clearly the number one factor here is that the eyes are different colors. I mean, who knows? Fortnite has done some crazy stuff, but I don't think so. Thanks for the comment, though. Micah says, I am 80% sure that what is on Dr. Sloane's device is one of the Seven's rockets at the launch pad POI. She probably needs to have control over one rocket to completely mess up whatever the Seven is planning to do with the rockets. So that's another interesting approach, saying that the device, the hologram on the device, in fact, is actually one of the rockets that the Seven have routinely launched over the course of Fortnite's history. I guess it could be. You can't ever fully rule anything out, but to me, it definitely seems either like a person, maybe from the sideways angle, or some sort of antenna for communications, or just to be a part of the device itself. Next up, we have Stefan, who wrote an extremely lengthy theory, and that's not a bad thing at all, but for this specific part of the video, I want to focus on one thing that he said here. So he says, I was listening to some soundtracks from within the game a couple days ago, and I actually found something really interesting. If you listen to the IO Attack lobby music from Season 5, at one point it actually features the same theme as the Devourer from the Season 9 event. I was intrigued by this, so I listened to the IO Guard themes from other seasons, and they all featured this motif, which means that they've been teasing the Devourer's return since Chapter 2, Season 5. You guys know there have been a lot of references for the Caddis and the robot, either in the comics or in the files, or in the game with the arm and the Caddis remains. When you weigh in the fact that Paradigm is returning to the island, and we know Paradigm is Singularity, and the last time we saw Singularity was when she drove off inside the mech, that makes things even more compelling. I'll let you guys have a brief listen here. So to me, it doesn't sound exactly the same, but it's similar. It's definitely similar, and I could see this being a spin on the original theme of the Caddis and robot theme. I really don't know what I think about this, actually. Please let me know in the comments what your take on this is. Do you think it sounds similar enough to be considered the same theme? Gamerboy22 says, hey fellas, it's Quandale Dingle here. Couldn't agree more. Joel Embiid, no way, literally Joel, that's crazy, man. He says, yo, shave your face. I hear dad doesn't like it rough. Yeah, that's probably a good stopping point. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to stop back by. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. And click on to the next video to keep the party rolling, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.